Okay, so I think recording has started. So what is Git, GitHub, and how does it work, right? And why are we talking about it versus our previous classes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will use the analogy of football, right? So in football we have matches, right? You play match on day one, isn't it? Then there is another match on day two, isn't it? Now, for day one, you want to keep track of what are the things that happen on day one, isn't it? You want to maybe know who scored, who are the people that scored, right? Who are the people that played, right? You shall want to keep track of information for day one, isn't it? And then for day two, you want to do the same thing, right? For day 100, you want to do the same thing, right? As you are keeping track of this thing, isn't it? If for any reason, maybe at the end of the tournament, right, they now want to tally all the scored goals that have been scored, right, or the player with the highest match or something, or the player that got the most best goal or best free kick or something like that, or the players with the most red card, right? All they have to do is just go to each of the days, right? And from each of the days, they can start tracking what happened in each of the days until they get to the what? To the last day or to the tournament final or something like that, right? Okay. So in each of these things, what are they doing? They are tracking, right? What are they tracking? They are tracking data of play, Abi? Okay. So that is analogy number one. This Git, there are two different things. So Git and GitHub, there are two different things. You understand it shortly. You see, this Git is a software. Eh? We use it for tracking.
Tracking what?
That's where I'm coming now. But we use it for what? To track, right? Now, naturally, the name, the what's it called? The official name of Git is, we say it is a version controlling system. So they will shorten it to what? VCS, version controlling system, as you see here. Version control system. So understand that it is just for tracking. We want to use it to track, right? So what are you now tracking, right? That, like you just asked now, what is it that is being tracked? So we are tracking software. We are tracking data. We can use it to track anything, right? You can use it to track anything. Whether it's the code that you're writing, you use it to track it. Whether it is you are creating video, right? You can use it to track it. Primarily, you are using it to what? To track. Now, in the name, that is where all the definition is, right? So version, that's the first thing, right? So a version is one thing that you have done, maybe what you did on day one. That is like version 1. What you did on day 2 is version 2, right? What you did on day 3 is version 3, like that, right? It's not necessarily day. Like if it's football now, it will be day that we are tracking, right? Or matches that we are tracking. If it is code, what you are tracking is feature. I have finished this feature. That is what? Version 1 of that project, like that. When you add another feature now, that is what? Version 2, right? So in a project, what you are tracking, in a software project, what you'll be tracking is what? Feature, right? Isn't it? If you are doing graphics, right, and somebody comes to you and say, help me design a poster for my wedding, you first of all design the poster. You send it to the celebrant. The celebrant will take it. He will say, he doesn't like yellow, he doesn't like blue, right? Make the font big. The celebrant will return it to you. The first one you send is what? Version 1. The one when they return it back, and you what? You make changes. You send it back to them. That's what? Version 2, right? So in that place, what are we tracking? We are tracking graphics. right? We are tracking changes that are made to a graphics file, right? So this Git is a version control system. Yeah, it's a version control system. Should I pause? Yeah. Okay. Pause.
You say version, yeah.
Yeah. So we understand where version is coming from, Abi. Version in that sense is what you are tracking, whether it's match day for football, whether it's the design changes for a graphics design, whether it's feature changes or feature addition for a project that you are building, right? So like if you are building something like Facebook now, right? First, you implement feature that says people can upload their picture. That is a version, right? For today, if you are going to use Facebook, you can only upload picture. That's version. Tomorrow now, you come again. You implement a feature that allows people to like your picture. That is another version. Now, the control, so we already know what a version is. The control is the ability to go to a particular version and see what is happening there and even make changes to that particular version, right? So if it is like a football tournament now and they are finished, they are in final, right? But you realize that in quarter final, somebody made a mistake and somebody got red card. You can go back to quarter final and prevent that mistake, change that mistake, right? Do you understand? You can go to group stage and make changes in the group stage. Do you get? If it is, what's it called? If it is graphics design, right? When you are in version 5, right? And the celebrant now say he likes something in version 2, right? So you can go from version 5 back to version 2 and go and bring it back. Then make, or if there is something in version 2 that they like, you bring it back to version 5. So version control means that there is version, you are tracking each of the version. Control means that you can go to all those versions at any point, at any point to tweak it to your own taste, to your own, what's it called? To your own liking. Do you get? So the system there is just how everything works together. Do you get? So we have what? Version control system. We use it to track something. That thing we are tracking can be anything. It can even be that you are writing a book. Chapter 1 is version 1 like that. When you add another one, chapter 2, that's version 2, right? Chapter 3 is version 3, right? At the end of the whole book now, you can go back and say, in chapter 1, I made a typo. I want to change a sentence or a paragraph. You can go back to version 1 of that project and change it, right? So that when you change it, it will still flow together with everything, right? And the changes you make to version 1 will not affect version 2. Do you get? So that is what we mean by what? A version control system. It can be used to track anything. People use it to track people that are doing like video recording, movies. People that are doing movies, they use it to track what's it called? Takes. You know, one scene now you can do remake of it of like 100 times. Do you know like, so they will record it. Maybe somebody forgot their line. They will say take 2, cut, take 2, cut, take 3, right? So maybe you now want, so each of those cuts, all those take is like version 1, version 2, version 3, right? You can go to take 1, combine it with take 50, combine it with take 67 to make your that scene, right? So you can track each of those versions, right? That is what a version control system is. We use it to track anything, right? But primarily, its primary job is to track software development. So we use it to track code. primarily, it can track everything, right? But originally and primarily, it is used to what? To track code. So that is Git. So this Git, you have to install it on your system. And that is that terminal that you have. So that's your own terminal. This is my own terminal here. Right? So the reason why I say you people should use, so for Windows, right? If you're on Windows, the uh, the the inbuilt terminal is not very robust, right? Me, I'm not on Windows, I'm on Mac here, right? So in this Mac now, this terminal is robust enough to do everything I need to do. But on Windows, what you have is this. You have this, um, you have command prompt, right? And you have PowerShell. So you have command prompt and you have PowerShell. You have your compound. So command prompt and PowerShell, yes. This is command prompt, right? And this is PowerShell. This is Git. You have not started it before? Oh, okay. Are you installing it? You have you installed it before?
I've installed it before.
You shouldn't need to open it. Yes, exit setup. So if you have installed it before, once you come here, you can just type Git like this. If you type Git like that, can you see that it's not giving error? Me too, I will type Git like that. Can you see it is not giving any error? When it's not giving any error like this, it means Git is correctly installed on your system, right? But we are not going to be using this command prompt, right? We are going to be using git bash, this one. So don't be opening this one, just open this one directly, right? Git bash is like this command prompt that you are seeing here. Do you want to allow changes? I hope this is not that install again. No. It means you are.
Are you sure that you have installed it?
He has installed it.
Installed
He has installed it. I'm coming. Let me pause this one. Just wait. So we are on our terminal. So me, I'll be using this my own normal terminal. I don't need git bash here, right? But on Windows, it is advisable to use git bash so that everybody is on the same playing ground. So now this git bash is our git. This is it. This is the git. So this thing is a combination of your terminal plus git, right? Do you get? So it's inside here, right? So that version control that you have installed is this thing that you have here, right? Now, as I said, Git, we use it for what? To track stuffs. It's a version control system, right? We are using it to track the versions of each stuff. There is now, so the people that built Git, you have it on your system, right? Git is something that will be on your system that you are using to track something on your system. If you are creating files, that file is on your system now. So Git too has to be on your system so that both of them will be tracked together. You'll be using Git to track that version. Now, once you are finished creating something and you want to share it with the world, right? You want to show the world that I have created this thing, come and see, right? That is where GitHub now comes. So that's why they call it GitHub, the hub of Git, hub, right? So what they mean here is we are just connecting everybody that has Git stuff. So let's see. So here you will see a lot of projects. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So for example now, all companies around the world generally have their own GitHub account.
But it's not public.
There are public projects and there are private projects, right? Public project is the one that everybody can see. So for example now, we have React on GitHub. Just do GitHub like this, React. So you will see github.com. This is by Facebook, and their project is what? React. So this one is what? So here you will see, look at the number of people that are contributing to this project. So here you are seeing 1,500 people that are using this project, that are contributors of this project.
So this is Facebook now.
So no, Yes. No, this is not Facebook.com. Oh. This is not Facebook code. Oh. That one is private now.
Yeah, when I said that, so
It will still, maybe they are still using Git, I don't know. But they cannot open source. They cannot make that one open now. But this is the tool that they use to build Facebook. Do you get? Do you get? So here now, you can see how many people? 1,500 people. As we have for Facebook, so you can see all the languages that they are using to build this thing. So here you are seeing JavaScript, HTML, CSS, etc. So I've told you number one thing of Git is what? We are using it to track. The number two job, as you are seeing here, is a collaboration tool. Collaboration tool.
Is it that Git or the Git of?
The Git.
The Git.
The Git is a collaboration tool, right? Number one function is what? To track, right? Number two is to collaborate, right? So what I mean by collaborate is what you are seeing here. So you have a project, you are working on your project. You want another person to join you in that project so that both of you will be working together, right? So when you work in the morning, that person can work in the night, right? And the project will move what? Faster. For example, this Netherlands that we are building, maybe you build the top, you build the bottom, right? But it is still one same project. Both of you are working on the same project, right? So how do you collaborate? Right?
How do when I made a mistake?
That is why there is version control. So when you make a mistake, you can go back and correct your mistake. Do you get? So him, once he's working on that Netherlands, he will push it to GitHub. You will go to GitHub, you will download it, you will do whatever you want to do, push it back to GitHub.
My own version, first version.
I
will do my one is sent back to the second version.
So
when you do your own thing, third version.
Third version. So do you see? Right? So you push your own, you collect whatever he has done, add your own to it, right? Put it back there. Into you go here, collect, add his own, put it back here.
Is
right?
it possible that, let's say, at the doing his own, I'm doing my own, we not piece together? Is it possible?
Yes, now it's possible. Now, in that sense of collaboration, so this thing and Git, they work together. It's the same company that owns it, Git and GitHub. So in that sense, if you want to work at the same time and you don't want what he is doing to affect what you are doing, right? Isn't it? Like here now, as you can see here, you know that it is virtually impossible that all of them they will almost be working at the same time, right? And one person's work may affect another person's work, right? So if you don't want one person's work to affect another person's work, they now have what we call branches. Can you see branches here? So when you want to work, you will work in your own branch. So there will be a general branch called master. This is what the general branch that everybody can work in. When you push to master, if you are pushing to master, another person cannot push to master at the same time, right? But you can decide that you want to work in your own branch. So if you open here now, you see other branches, right? So 03 stable, 04 stable. So you say, I want to work in this branch. You too, you are working in your own branch, right? Both of you are working at the same time, right? So you push your own branch, right? That is not master. So master is the general one. So there is master branch, the general one, right? Normally, that one that we talk about, you pushing, him downloading, it means both of you are working on master at the same time. But you can say you want to work on branch Idris. Him, he wants to work on branch code, right? So you will push to Idris. Him, he will push to code, right? Then later, you can now decide, okay, you have finished your own, then you can now combine the two and it will go to master.
I don't understand now. Like branches make up master.
Yes.
What I'm saying, okay, at my point is that, what for example now, we don't know the same thing, but different methods.
And that's why that is so. At this point, once both of you agree that okay, it is this one we want, or it is this one we want,
agree.
so once you agree, you will now push it to one central place. The one that you choose is the one that will now go to master.
Okay.
Do you flow? Do you see the need of Git and the need of GitHub? So Git is the one on your system. GitHub is the website. When you finish working on your system, you put it on GitHub so that other people can work with you. Right? So Git itself is the version control system. GitHub is the element of the collaboration part. Right? So they work together, right? Do you understand the project now? Right? So what we now want, so you guys have created, so Git, it originally was owned by the people that built it is Linux, right? Linux is an operating system like Windows, like Microsoft is Linux. They are the people that the name of the guy that built it is Linus Torvald. Yes, this is the guy. He's the one that is leading Linux project, right? So his name is Linus Torvald. Now, so there are other version control system. But today, the only one that everybody is using is Git, right? But before Git, there used to be Subversion. There used to be Subversion. Nobody uses it. I've never used it before, right? Version control system. This is it. Subversion, right? But I've never used it before. I don't have any need to use it. Nobody has ever asked me to use it before, right? But I'm just telling you so that you know that it's not only Git that we use for version control system. So this version control system was what they were using to track Linux that time, around 2005, 2004. They were using it to track. Then this guy, he now fought with the people, these subversion people. They now have clash, right? When they now fought, he now vexed. He now built his own. He now built his own version control system. That is this Git. Alright? So it is this Git that they now use to be tracking Linux. As they were now using it to track Linux, other people started using it. And this Git now just subversion away. Do you get it? So that is like the history of how Git came into existence. So we know what Git is, right? What it will do for us, right? We know what GitHub is and what it will do for us, it can do for us. So this Git and GitHub, they can allow us to do plenty things. One of the things that this GitHub does for us is that it allows us to host websites, right? So they have GitHub pages, and that is what we are going to use. So once we push our code to GitHub, we are going to use it to host our website. So they have what you call GitHub pages. So these GitHub pages is the one that allow us to host our website online, right? So this is like ready-made version that you can just immediately use, right? And immediately you see your website. So for you to be able to use GitHub pages, you must first of all, what's it called? You must first of all create an account. So that was why I said you guys should create account, right? So let's go. So there are some terminologies in Git and GitHub that you need to understand, right? There are some terminologies. So let me walk you through these terminologies. So this is this, right? So let's go here. Let's go here. So this is my own, what's it called now? My own page, right? When you see here, at this top here, you see some things. You see packages, projects, overview, and repository. For now, I just want you to focus on repo, this one. So the full meaning is what? Repository, but people just shorten it to what? Repo, like this. They just call it repo, right? What is a repository? A repository is a folder. The easiest way to understand is a folder, like on your system. You have a folder, right?
Yeah.
And that folder will contain what? The thing you are working on. right?
Yes.
That is a repository. That is what a repository is, right? It's a folder. That is the simplest way to understand repo. So this folder, you can call it anything. Like me now, I call one folder Muli. I call another folder this intro to JavaScript. So these are just what folders, and they contain the thing I want to track. So that different folders, right, contain different projects that I'm working on.
Okay.
You are with me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So go to your own system so that we can see it. So at the top here, you will see plus. You see this plus sign.
Should I put this thing as
Yes, so that we can be doing it together. At the top here. No, the GitHub gongon. Maybe you have created account.
yes.
This GitHub desktop. I'll still come to GitHub desktop.
Okay. You should just go to it.
And your GitHub, the one that you created your account. So at the top here, you will see plus. You see this plus, right? Can you see this plus? That plus that you see there, you see some things. New repository, right? That means, do you want to create a new folder that you want to work on, right? This plus here. Or you will see import repository. That means you already have that folder somewhere and you want to bring it to GitHub. Or so gist is just you want to share one file. Repository is what? Folder, but gist is what? One file. They call it file. It's just one file. Just one. You are not doing a folder. Just one single file. You want to create a single file and you want to share that file with somebody. So we call it what? Gist. That's this gist here.
Sorry,
The
come again. I don't understand.
repository
No, I understand
is
now.
folder.
That
Gist is just a file. Just
Okay,
one
file.
file.
Okay.
Gist is
Okay.
another name for file.
File.
So why in our system we have a file. This one is what? Just one file. So you can create a file to just, so if I say new gist now, it means I just want to create one file that I want to share with somebody. Just one single file. So I'll put the name of my file etc there. But I'm not creating file. So let's go. Organization, right? It's like, so you have a family of projects. Maybe you have a company and you have multiple projects inside, like the same way we saw Facebook. So inside that place, when we saw Facebook that time, so here, what you see here is what? This is the folder. React is what? Is the folder, is the project. Facebook is what? Is the organization. The organization that owns that React. So here I say new organization. That means, do you have an organization? So inside the organization, you now have what? The project inside. Do you get? That's okay. So you have new project. Leave project for now, right? So we have this, right? So that is what Git. These are the basic ideas of Git, repo, and gist, right? This is what a repo looks like. This is a repository. When you say new repo, this is what will be inside. We have noticed what is here. These ones are branches. You still go deep inside, but this one are branches. So if you want to see all the branches again, you can link it here to be able to see the branches. You know, I said when you click on a branch now, I said there is branch address, there is branch code, right? You can connect them to another branch master. So this is all the branch here. So when you are connecting it, is what we call merge. You know, here we connect these two. We now merge it. So the word we use here is what? Merge. You are merging it into master. You will still understand all these things. Don't worry. I'm just showing you how all these things work. So let's go back. So this is a repo, right? So these are all the files inside that repo, inside that folder, right? So all the files,
All these ones they are folder, right?
and there. So this one's a folder and this one is file. So you can still open this one up again, and then you still see some other stuff inside. So folders. So let's go back again. So this is the project, all the files inside this React, and React is a repo inside this organization Facebook, right? So there are many things you can see here. You can see insight. Insight will tell you how many people are contributing to this project at a particular time, right? Who is contributing the most? So this person, Dan Abramov, is the one that is contributing. Is the one that has contributed most to this place, right? And then you see all these other people too, right? So you can go back again You can go back again. So this one will show you analytics. This one are issues. The things that, so an issue, right? When we say an issue, is the thing you want to work on, or the things that are being worked on, right? So like now, so if I want to now, you are working on something, that thing you are working on is an issue. So you'll be talking about it here so that other people can just be scanning through what you are doing. It's not just that you write the code and push it, but you can also inform other people of what you are doing. So here now, you will just create a new issue. You will talk about what you are doing so that another person can what? Contribute. So this is an issue now. So this issue is talking about a bug, right? That means that there's an issue with, there's a wahala somewhere. So memory leak in what? New use reducer. You will describe what you are doing. So this person is what? Telling them about an issue. Other people will join. So here now, nobody has joined, right? So it is still, that is why it is still, they have target as what? Open. That means they have not, what's it called? They are still conversing on it. Look at here, there is 8 conversation on this one. So this is an issue. When you open this issue now, you see several people talking about it, right? And you see several people talking about it, about that particular feature or that particular wahala that is happening, right? Okay, so that is an issue. I'm just walking you through the interface of this thing for now. So let's go back again. So let's go back to the code section. We have seen our files and folder. In this section here, usually they call it readme.md. This place is for description. Here you describe what your project is doing. What is your project about? Who are the people that are working on the project, right? So that other people can understand what this project is doing. How do you install this project on your system? Right? Where can I see more information about this project? They call it what? Documentation. Example, all the things that will make somebody understand what you are doing or what this project is trying to achieve. You put it inside here, readme.md. You see it here, inside this place, you see this is the file, right? This is the file, readme.md. We can open it, it's a normal file. So when you open it, this is the file here. So you can read it. If you want to see how it was written, when you click on raw here, this is the file that generated that thing that you are seeing, right? You still understand this, don't worry. You still understand this. So you can see the number of people that have contributed to this readme. That's how many? 50 people that have contributed to just this one file alone. Only this file alone, 50 people. Can you see? You can see the last time that it was updated. That's when? July 8th, 2020. That's last year that they updated this file, right? So you can see. So as you are going through Git, you should not be confused about what is happening. Okay, so that is Git up, right? Let's now go to Git. So let's go to Git. So we have confirmed that we have Git on our system, right? Okay, so if you have Git on your system, so the first thing to know that you have Git on your system is that you just type Git. Git is a command. When you just type Git like this, Git, enter like this. If it doesn't give you error, press enter. You know that Git is running on your system, right? It's a command. Sorry. So this command now, so to use Git, so Git is the thing you want that you have, right? It's a software. You will now use Git to do some things, right?
Okay.
So first things first is what? We need a folder, right? Because you want to track some things, right? So first thing is what? You need a folder. Then you now put Git inside that folder, right? So that Git can what? Track the things inside the folder. Do you see how Git will work? So you must have folder first. You now put Git inside, right? So you now use Git to be tracking all the things inside that folder. So let's create a folder. So you can create your own folder. If I want to create a folder directly inside this place, normally I can just go to my system like this, my system, and say create folder. Where is it? Where is it running away? This place. I can just say here, right click like this, new folder. But what if I don't want to go through that process? Inside this black thing, it is called terminal. I can create a folder here directly. So if I want to create a folder, let me do first. So let me show you some command. So pwd, type pwd, type it. Pwd will tell you where you are in your system. Where is this terminal? Where is the position of? So the full meaning is what? Print working directory. It will tell you the folder that you are inside. So here now, I'm inside what? Mobile dev. You are inside desktop, right? So print working directory, right? That is what? PWD, print working directory, right? Now, I don't want to be inside desktop. Okay, I want to see all the things that are inside this folder. Normally, I'm inside mobile dev now. I should just go to this place. I should just go to here and find mobile dev. I think mobile dev is inside desktop or something. I don't know where it is. So I'm inside mobile dev. Now I want to see all the things inside here, right? Like say you want to see everything inside desktop, right? What will you do? You go to your folder and be looking for everything inside there. But what if I want to see everything inside my desktop? You type what? ls. SSS. It means list. ls. Then you press enter. When you press enter, it will tell you all the content inside your folder. So here now, how many things do I have? I just have some stuff here. Folder, right? So it will list out all the things inside your folder for you. Are you with me? So we know where we are. We know the content of our folder, right? Now, I want to go from this my current folder into another place, right? So now I want to go from mobile dev into what? Documents. Where do you want to go to? Pick a place where you want to go to documents. Is documents inside your desktop?
Yes.
Is there? So now if I want to enter my own document, right? I want to enter documents now. I can enter downloads, I can enter anywhere, but I want to enter just documents. So I will say cd. Then where am I going? I want to go to what? Documents. I will say cd. No. You will type it. First check, is document inside the... Where is it? That's not document. That's document shortcut. That's not document. You have movies. Where I enter movie. So now you have to type it. It's case sensitive. So you have to type it. If it's capital letter, you must put capital letter there, right? So press enter. When you press enter, you will see that the directory will change to movie. You can check again, where am I, by doing what? PWD, to be confirmed that your folder has changed, right? It has changed, Abi. You are no longer in where you are before. You are now in the current place. You can now check again, what are the content of this new place by using what? List, right? So when you do list, you'll be able to see the content of this place. We are together, right? Are we together? Okay. Now we have seen three things: PWD, CD, right? List. The full meaning of CD is what? Change directory, right? PWD is what? Print working directory, right? So now change directory, and then you now pass the folder that you are going to, Abi. It will do what? It will take you from the current folder and you will enter the new folder, Abi. What if I want to go back?
We should do the change directory now.
So we'll still do the change directory, but now I want to go back, shey? So if I want to go back, I will just do ... it will take me back to where I'm coming from, the last place that I left. Do you see? So if I do cd dot dot now, I am now back in mobile dev, right? Dot dot. There's space. Oh, the command, there's always space after the command. So it will take you back, right? So let me go back. I'm going back to that document now because it's document I want to be inside. So cd dot dot will take us back to the previous place, right? So now I want to enter inside documents. I want to enter into Torilo because that's where I'm working from. Torilo, right? I'm coming. So now our first class today is what? We are talking about GitHub, Abi. So that means I want to create a new folder, right? I want to create a new folder to address today's project, right? So to create a new folder, you will say mkdir. The full meaning is what? Make directory. mkdir. Make directory. And then what? You now put what? The name of the directory that you want to have. That's the name of the folder, right? So what are we doing? Intro to Git, right? So now, before I do it, first of all check, let me first of all confirm to you that it doesn't exist. Look at here now. When I do list, you see there's only first project and tic-tac-toe that is there. So when I do make directory now, I'm inside Torelo folder. So when I do make directory of what? Intro to Git, when I press enter, when I do list now, you now see that we now have a folder, what? Intro to Git. It is inside my system too. In my system, when you come here, in the document, inside Torilo, you see it. Can you see? Intro to Git. It is what? Empty. Can you see? So we have made, so make directory is how you create a folder, right? So now I have made the directory. Because now that we have made the directory, right, we need to put what? Git. Because the job of Git is what? To track the things inside the folder, right? So we need to put Git inside, right? So we first of all, so currently, note that there is nothing inside this place. Do you agree with me? Yes. So we want to put Git first. So when you want to add Git to a folder, you will say Git. So now I need to enter inside intro to Git. I don't want to put Git inside Torilo. I want to put it inside intro to Git. Do you get? So I need to do cd intro to Git so that I will enter. I will enter intro to Git, Abi. So I'm inside intro to Git now. So I want to add Git inside, Abi. So I will say Git init. So Git is that I want to use Git. Init means initialization. That means I want to initialize Git inside this project, inside this folder, right? I want to start Git inside this folder. Currently, as you said, we have agreed that there's nothing inside here. When I do Git init now, you come back here. Do you see anything inside? Nothing there. But it is telling me that what? Initialize. Git has been initialized into a empty repository. We remember that repository just means folder, right? Into an empty repository, right? It did not give us error. So our first Git is what? Git init, isn't it? What does Git do? You are using it to track folder, shey? So if you are using it to track all the things inside a folder, so if you are using Git to track things inside a folder, it means we need things to now be inside this folder for Git to track. Shey? Now, before you continue, our first what's it called? Our first command of Git is what? Git init, right? The one you will use the most is what? Git status. Git status. This is the one that you'll be mostly using when you are using Git command. And what does Git status do for us? it will tell us what is happening inside our project. So when I do git status now, when I do git status, right? Look at here. When I do git status now, it is telling me we are on branch what? Master. You remember our branch? We are on branch master. So that means nobody have created branch, Abi, and no commits yet. So I want you to note that. Let's leave the old that commit. What is a commit? Right? No commit yet, right? Now look at here. It said nothing to commit. It's using that word again. Commit, right? So create. So it is telling us to create a file, because what? There is no file for it to what? To track. There is nothing inside that folder, and Git must be what? Tracking a folder, right? So let's create a file. So normally I can go to my file and go and be creating file, abi? But let me create a file from here. So if I want to create a file from here, what should I do? I will say I want to echo. I just want to create a file, right? I want to echo Idris. I want to put it inside a file called readme.md. You have seen readme. So what I'm doing here is that I want to create a file called readme.md, and I want to put this content, Idris, inside this what? Inside this file. Do you get? So this echo is what we take this Idris and put it inside this file, right? So look at now. Before, you agree with me that there is nothing inside the folder. Share. So when I do, I want to do something first. This one should be up here like this. Where's that other one? They should be beside each other. Let them be beside each other now, so that they will not be disturbing me. So I can be seeing like this. So when I do enter, can you see it has created a file? If you look at this file, if you look at the content of this file, you will see that we have entries inside it, right? Now, when you do git status again now, before it was telling us what? On branch master, nothing to commit. When I do git status, do you notice there's a difference? Now it can now see something. Before, it doesn't have anything to commit. Now there is something to commit. Now there is something inside, right? So what is it? So it is still on branch master. He said no commit yet. I've not made any commits, right? But there is a file, right? So you can now see the file. What is the color of this file? It is red. Notice that is important. I will tell you why it's important now. So how does the Git work? Right? What are the things that? So we have seen Git init, abi? We have seen Git status. So number one thing is we now have some command. It is giving us one command that we should try here, git add, right? So we use git add when you have a file and you want to tell Git that, Git, I want to track this file. Because you can have 20 files and it is not all the files that you want to track, abi? Some file might be for wedding. Maybe you are designing graphics. One file is for wedding. Another file is, maybe one is for how you are tracking your money, how much the customer wants to pay you. It is only the wedding you want to track now, because when you want to share it, it is only the file, that file you don't want to send them the one that you are using to track your money, right? How much they will pay you. So you want to track one, you don't want to track the other, shey? So git add is telling that you are using it to tell GitHub that, Git, I want to add this one. I want you to track this one, right? I don't want you to track this one, right? So you are specific about what you want to track. That is what git add, right? So we say git add, then the name of the file that you want to track. So what is the file I want to track now? readme.md. What am I doing here? What you are doing here is that you are telling Git that you should start tracking readme.md. Do you get? Before I do this, let me create another file so that you will see the difference. This md, abi. Let's do another md. Let's call it lomd, right? This one, let me put let me put code inside here, right? So, well, so now if you do git status, you will see two files, right? Like we have here. You will see two files. You will see lomd and you will see what? Readme end, right? Now we have two files, but it is only one we want to track. See? So if it is only one we want to track, let's do so. We say git add readme.md. That means git will track one, it will not track the other one, right? So when I press enter now, you see it did not return anything. It is good because it's not giving us any error. Let's now check the status, right? When we check the status now, oh sorry, that one does not change anything. When we check the status now, we are still on branch master. It is still telling us what? No commit yet. But now it is seeing two files. One is green, the other one is what? Red. The one that is green is what? The one that is being what? Tracked. The one that is red is the one that is what? Not tracked. So that is how Git is giving us color code to telling us that I am tracking this one, I am not tracking this one, right? It is the thing. So Git add is to what? To track something. You use it to start tracking something, right? You follow?
Yes.
So as we are tracking it, now we are tracking it. Now we are tracking it. So if I put another thing inside this Git now, so you remember this what's it called? The file, the design file that you are doing for wedding, right? So you have put picture, you have put font. That's you are tracking it, right? You have created a file. So when you put picture, you have changed the file. Git is already seeing all those changes. So let me put another thing inside this hello readme now. Git can see this one, right? But it is not tracking it. It just know that it is there. But this one, it can see it and it is already tracking it, right? So if I do any change here, Git will know. If I do any change here, nothing concerns Git because it is not tracking it. So let me do change inside this one, right? So in this one now, let me echo another thing inside here. So before Idris now, let me put I, right? Before Idris, just look at here now. So when I change it now, I put I Idris. Can you see now inside? Can you see I have I Idris here inside this place? You see it, right? Now when you do status, I have changed the content of readme.md, right? And Git knows that I have changed it because it is what? Already tracking it. So when I do status, what do you see? It is telling me I am tracking readme.md and you have modified it. That modification, should I add it to the previous one? It knows that what? I have made changes. Can you see? Modified. Right? It knows that I have made changes. So here now we are only using Git status and Git add now. Status, can you see how many times we have used status now? So that's why I say status is the one that you'll be using the most, to be telling you the number of times that you'll be using stuff. So status, we have so now that we have modified this thing that we modify, do we want to continue tracking it? Should we? So Git is asking us, where do you want to continue from? Are you continuing from the previous one, or this changes that you made now, should I start tracking from there? So I will say git add readme, right? That means it is this I want to continue from the last one, the changes that I have made, right? When I do git status again now, right? So it has added this new thing that I made to the what? To the previous thing.
What's on now to go back?
I will still come to if you want to go back, right? But if you want to go back, it is possible. You can go back to Idris. You can go back to Idris. Anyone you want to go to, you can go there. Right? Now, let's assume now you are finished creating you are finished creating the poster. You want to send it, right? So that one, when you finish creating it, that will seal version 1, abi? That's the meaning of what? Version 1, shey? So how do you now confirm that this is version 1? How do you seal it? When you want to seal it, that is when we come about git commit. All those no commit yet, commit, right? Committed. That is where git commit comes inside. Git commit. So what is commit? Commit means that you want to seal that thing that you have been doing. A very typical place where you use commit is you have been working from morning till closing hour, and you want to do what? You want to go home, right? So the thing that you do today, you want to continue from there tomorrow, shey? So that means you want to track everything today, leave it, so that tomorrow you can start, right? So that one that you have done today, at the end of today, you will commit it. That will track for today, so that tomorrow you can start afresh, but you will still start from where you stopped, right? But you know that this is where I stopped yesterday, oh, this is where I'm starting today, oh. So that is the job of this commit, right? So I will say git commit -m, because the commit, right? This commit is not just, you want to tell yourself, what have I been doing, right? What did I do? What did I achieve, right? Because that is the job of commit, abi, to tell yourself that I have walked to this stage, oh, right? So that is why we have -m. -m means message, right? So you want to tell yourself, you want to give yourself a message, a commit message. We call it what? Commit message. So the message here, you now put something inside this place. What have you done? I have created poster, right? I have created poster. That one now, when you create the poster, right? So you have told yourself that you have created poster. Tomorrow, if you want to put background, you say, I have created background. So that if you want to go back to when you create poster, what are you really be looking for? Just the message that you put there. Do you get? When I press, you know that this is what we have before. When I press enter now, this is what? This has certified that everything we have done is what? Version 1. Right? So look at what is here. I have created poster. It has been saved inside in which branch? Master branch. How many files does this thing affect? That commit that I just made, just one file. How many things did I do inside that file? I added 2 things, Idris and Idris, right? And then it now gave us this thing. So when I do status again now, can you see that the green is gone? It's only the one that we are not tracking that GitHub is telling us now. Because now you can see the message on branch master, right? On track, it is telling us that this one is on track, right? Because it is already tracking that first one.
Okay.
Do you flow? So you see git in it, git status, git add, then git what? Git commit, right? Commit. So the commit will take a what? A message. When I do another thing now, I can commit it so that I will know that. So now, the next one I want to show you is what? Git log. Git log will just tell us all the commits that we have done. It is a log. Do you know what a log is? Log. It will tell us all the. So when I press enter now, it will tell me all the commit I have done. How many commit do I have? 1. I've only committed once, right? So this is the commit. When did I do it? Today. It will tell me the time and the stuff. So you remember when we were talking about football, day 1, when did this thing happen? So that if at the end of the tournament, I want to go back to a previous day, I can know the day, the time, right? I even have my commit message. So all this will help you to pinpoint the exact place that you want to go to. So like here now, look at all these people now. Imagine how many commits that these people have. That they can have. Just imagine how many do you think they will have? Look at. Do you see 14,227 commits? I mean 47 commits. How do you think they can be able to track if they want to go back to a commit of 1,000 or commit of 2,000? How do you think they can? So if I click on here now, I will see all the commits. You can see everything. All the commits. So you can be able to see all the commits. Right? All the commits. So this number that you are seeing here is this number here, this one. They just pick only like 7. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is this number here, right? Just 7. So that this number is uniquely generated for each commit. Because you can have plenty commits, but when you have that number, once you just copy this thing now, it will take you directly to that commit. Right? Do you see? It will take you to, even if you don't know the name of the name you used to save it. You know, name is very good. That message that you put is very good for you to know. It will tell you what is happening there. But if you cannot remember the name, if you can find the code for that commit, you'll still be able to find your commit. If you don't even know the code, if you remember the day or the time, you can still use it to what? To find your commit. So all these are options of how to, so like this commit now, if I click here now, I'll be able to see this commit when it was made. Can you see the commit, that commit number? You can see it. And you'll be able to see the message. This is the message now. Can you see it? Here now, you remember this one was telling us what? 1 file change, 2 insertions. This is how to see it. There is even a 2. What did you delete? That red is telling you the thing that you what? You deleted. The green is telling you the what? The thing that you added. Right? So here is saying 1 addition, 1 what? Deletion. That is what is happening here. So this one is telling you what? 2 insertions. That's 2 additions. Can you see plus here? 1 addition. So you are seeing how Git is a very powerful tool. It will track everything. Anything you want to track, it will track it for you. And how do you use it? You start checking what is happening. Any file that you want to track, you track it with git add. Then when you are done making changes, you commit. If you want to see all your commits, you log. Right? Do you see? So let's inject Git into our GitHub, into our Neraland. Let's do it. Go to GitHub. Go to github.com.